come on up. I got a lifeline. Come on up to this day of mine. Come on up. I got a lifeline. Come on up to this day of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the underground.
Who upholds half the sky? We do, the women. And the women have always stepped forward, whether it was freeing people from slavery like Harriet Tubman, who was a warrior, or our sister Rose, who sat down on the bus. She didn't sit down because she was a tired old lady. She sat down because she was a warrior who had been organizing with other people to bring down Jim Crow. So we have a lot of sisters out here that are warriors today.
We give birth to human life. We are the cradle of civilization, and I say welcome. We are glad to be here. We stand in solidarity with all the women here, all the women's issues from all over the world, because they are our issues.
Women today are in a leadership and are the backbone of struggles all over the world.
That even though they might want to try to kill us for organizing or oppress us for organizing, they will never push our spirits down.
Bank of America just got $20 million more in bailout money from the government. Now it's time for the banks to use those billions. They've been sucked out of the mass transit and sucked out of our labor.
It is the duty and obligation of every free-thinking woman on earth to make their voices heard and reach out to our sisters in Palestine and help them in the struggle against the Zionist-Israeli occupation. Free, free Palestine!
And we're going to continue to fight, and we want to ask you to continue to organize block by block in your community and to join those organizations that are advancing the cause for women.
Come on up, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this day of mine. Come on up, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this day of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the underground railroad.
Also here to stand with the women in Cuba who fought for the revolution in 1959 and took the lead and have created a revolution within the revolution.
I worked for Stella Dodo for 11 years. They didn't waste any time to demand cut wages. The cut wages are affecting women. Come to the picket line.
Abortion rights have been on the books for 36 years. But do we have the right to fully have control over our bodies and our lives? Hell no!
Women of the world unite! Women have been screwed over, women have been raped for centuries, and the rape and the screwing is still going on.
The U.S. ranks 29th in health care. Approximately 50 million people have no coverage at all.
Let's give a shout out for the women and all the Move 9 political prisoners.
Now is a time that we're seeing in history where students are coming together not only at NYU but around the city at city universities, and CUNY students are organizing against the budget cuts. And now is the time for us. The fight isn't over. This is an excellent and a unique time to look at what happened 40 years ago in 1969 when people took over the student campuses. Years ago, tuition was free.
We have to look around the world, in Zimbabwe, in Haiti, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and we have to push the United States foreign policy to a humane level.
Ellas pedían 8 horas de trabajo, no pagar la luz, porque en esa época ellas tenían que pagar la luz de lo que producían.
They asked for 8 hours of work and not to pay the electricity for what they produce, because they had to pay to be able to work.
Y los patrones, los dueños de la factoría, la cerraron con llaves e incendiaron la fábrica.
And the owners of the factories closed the windows and the doors of the factories, and that's why they went up in flames.
este Día Internacional de la Mujer.
In this International Working Women's Day,
yo se lo dedico a esas mujeres que han muerto en Guatemala sin poder defenderse, sin poder defender sus derechos y tenemos que seguir luchando y organizando.
I dedicate today to these women who have been assassinated in my country, Guatemala, and who cannot defend themselves, but who continue to fight back. And like many of you in this room, who stand up against violence against women.
It's not a day to honor the so-called achievements of Hillary Clinton or Condoleezza Rice or some female head of a corporation. No, it's our day. We have a glorious history. In 1937, auto workers in Flint, Michigan led a 44-day occupation of General Motors, and they forced the biggest corporation in the world to recognize the United Auto Workers. And it could not have been done without the women who were on strike, and the wives and daughters and mothers of the men on strike. The Women's Emergency Brigade came out of a fierce battle between police and company goons and the men on strike. After 14 men were wounded by police gunpower, a striker's wife called on the women to crash through the police barricades, and they did, and they defended that plant, and the men were not forced out of the plant, and they threw door hinges at the police and the goons, and they fired water from fire hoses in 0 degrees weather, and the cops went running, and the women made that victory possible.
We want our money. The money is there for the bankers to help foreclosure, to help bail out hospitals. We need health, good education, we need good health care. And I would think we need to let Obama know that if Castro could get free health care, if he could get free education, America should be able to do it. America brag about being the rock. Let's show us that we are the rock of America.
We're standing in front, we're stopping in front of Bank of America, the largest bank in the world, and one of the biggest beneficiaries of the trillions of dollars in the bailout. And they're one of the biggest culprits in terms of the foreclosures and evictions that are taking place all around the country. And this is going to be one of the main targets that we're going to be hitting for April 3rd when we march on Wall Street.
Where are we going to be on April the 3rd?
Wall Street!
Wall Street!
Wall Street!
And you're not going to be alone, sisters and brothers from New York City, because there's going to be busloads of people coming up from Baltimore who are angry. We're angry. We're standing across the street from Bank of America. They have stolen our money. The bankers have got trillions and the people have gotten pennies. I tell you, you go to Baltimore City and every single block is boarded up. People have lost their jobs and it's not our fault. We're being thrown out of our homes and it's not our fault. And what are we going to do? We're going to defend our homes in Baltimore. We're going to stay in there. And I tell you, Baltimore's not just Baltimore. It's like Harlem when I come up to New York. It's like Brooklyn. It's like Queens. And I tell you, on April the 3rd, let's say it again, April the 3rd, where are we going to be at? Wall Street. Because we're going to go there and tell them that they're not going to steal our money anymore. Come on, I got a lifeline.